Come, let me get you something.
Yo, welcome to Saber Talk Sunday. Had a little snafu there for a second, man. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. Yeah, what was that earlier? Was Space Windows theme or something?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I have no idea what happened there, man. But Space was on earlier,
Oh, okay.
and hold on, I'm just trying to type. Man, I can't type with my damn right hand. I'm trying to type and I can't do it with my right hand. I'm so used to doing everything with my left hand, man. It's driving me nuts here. So forgive me, guys, a little bit of but again, when I say that when you do live stuff and you actually um, are just anything can go wrong. Hey, Pern, Mo, guys, Jim, I see you. Scott's in the house too. Man, Scott was showing me some pics of some good stuff earlier, man. I was like, what? That's badass. And we're gonna have a badass time tonight because character hilts or personal hilt designs, you gotta love them, man. Uh, no matter what kind of hilt design that you're gonna have, in the end of the day, it's a lightsaber and it's yours. So regardless of what you like, right? And I tell you, there is so many cool hilt designs out there right now. It is unreal. It is unreal, and the quality that's being produced as well is just phenomenal. But we're going to go through some of these as well, right? We're going to go through some of these and then we'll go ahead and talk about some personal likes and dislikes of personal hilts and everything else in between. So it'll be a fun little discussion, man. Fun little topic.
And then I'm almost done with your saber. Tomorrow is wiring day, man.
and then man.
Yeah, I'm wearing my CFX shirt in memorial for the build. So.
So I'm pretty sure you guys are seeing my parts drawer behind me, right?
Yeah.
This thing.
Oh yeah,
this thing. I got done coloring it, painting it, right? So it's done painting. All I need to do now is just label the drawers for the different parts that I've got. And I talked to Rich, and I think I'm gonna do like a little. Uh, I got him and see if he would like to print me out a couple of the little miniature moisture evaporators, right? And I think I'm gonna do a little diorama on here on the top of Luke's home on top of here. So that'll be like super cool to do, right?
Right, absolutely.
So man, yeah. So forgive me. I've got this little tower right here. It's got a bunch of drawers and everything. I'm not gonna lift it up because that thing is like tall, and I've got parts in there too. So I'm trying to get organized because I want more room up over here, and I'm trying to get organized. And eventually, you're gonna see, when I get the Graphics, it's gonna go in this thing right here. I've got my LEDs still in there, the LED strips, and so when I get my Graphics, eventually, it'll go in here and it'll be lit. And I don't think I'm gonna pull it out too often, but I'll have it lit during the show and all that good stuff, right? Hostess of the mostest, Jim.
Nice.
Oh man, I my day, I spent most of my morning just being lazy in bed, and then probably about noon, probably about noon, I decided, okay, I'm gonna go work in the in the garage and start cleaning some stuff and looking for stuff to sell and give away and stuff like that. KB's in the house, and so in doing so, and while I was doing that in the garage, I was watching Reese and Anthony work on some sabers, and
Oh
of
yeah,
course
was that
James
up in there?
James was there. Yeah, James was up in there.
That was good, man. That was really good. I really enjoyed that today. That was a lot of fun, man. Good job and good
And it's
determination
such
on
a
all the stuff. It was great, man.
it was such a great looking hilt too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jim. Oh my God, Jim hadn't been on a while, man, and I miss Jim.
Yeah, CFX,
um,
man, that's pretty cool stuff. It's allowed. It was a loud hilt too. They did a great job on the porting and everything. It sound. I mean,
yeah,
it deflected in the phone, the camera. It was so loud. It distorted the camera because it was a clean, good sound in there. So it was nice.
right. It really was. It really was. Mo's in the house too, man. And Per,
Well, that was
let's
the whole
see.
part, right? Like design. It's like it all depends on the
Yeah,
design and how you do it. He explained it
yeah.
really well today. It was really good.
Hmm.
And I really I do really enjoy the way that they are explaining stuff because eventually I'd like to head that direction for the show, right?
Absolutely.
So eventually, when I get things situated the way I need them to be and everything else, I would love to do that. I would love to work on a hill on the show. Now, I know
Yeah,
that
all of us could do
I,
it.
yeah, I think it would be a great show where all of us can work on some stuff, and
Yep.
that would be amazing to see the people because I think the trend is headed that way where the people want to see people like us, installers, home installers working on hilts like that. Um, they see finished products, but I think there's a trend for looking at the process, if you will, right? The process of getting the hilt built and what goes into the wiring, the time, everything else in between, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, like tonight we're talking about designs and stuff. What character hilts are you guys, and this is for y'all too in the comments and everything. What is your favorite character hilt? Like for me, I like the Kenobi style type hilt. Um,
Which Kenobi style though? Because remember, there's three of them.
Mm-hmm.
well, okay, I suppose probably would be like the second rendition of
So,
it.
so
I think it.
the one from episode 3.
I think so. Is that the one that's got the wind turbine on it, or in
Oh yeah.
there?
Yep. I
This
got
one
that
here.
one.
Yeah.
This is the Nexus version with the elongated emitter for extra blade depth for grip.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
But
cool. Yeah.
but what's interesting about this particular hilt is that this actually wasn't initially going to be Obi-Wan's hilt. What they did was the original idea was for Obi-Wan to have his original one that he used in episode 1, 2. He'd make a remix of it. But instead of the flat blade plug as we all see in
Right.
the films, the it would be like a sort of pepper salt shaker blade plug that would be on top, which became known as the salt and pepper shaker hilt.
Ha.
And he would lose this lightsaber he would lose the third iteration of this lightsaber in his duel with General Grievous, and he would pick up this one, which General Grievous had, which if you look at all the lightsabers that General Grievous swings around in episode 3, this is one of them. So you're thinking,
Yeah.
to yourself, wait, on screen, like, wait, why is Obi-Wan's hilt being Grievous? So that was what was essentially going to be. It was going to be, and this would
Well,
be
maybe it's the person.
yeah. So that's why that's how it was just going to carry over. But then I think George Lucas made the decision just to not do that and just have it more streamlined so that it would make sense in continuity when it would transfer over to A New Hope.
Mm.
But
Now,
I do like this hilt a lot. And here's the thing, though, is that one thing that people will complain a lot about with this character hilt is that the control box would get in the way with spinning. And that's why in episode 3, you see in the duel scenes against very nice.
There it is.
Yep, that is the OB3. The initial design was actually
You like that one?
yeah. What the prop scenes did was they made stunt versions, which was basically a one without the control box, and it was used for spinning. And if you look closely at some shots, you can see the stunt version of this. But it is still possible to have this and not hit the control box or just stand it down.
Yeah. Depends on how you choke the neck. Yeah, absolutely.
But I will say that the transition from what we see in episode 3 to episode 4 was definitely iconic fights. Oh, and James, I don't think you've seen this yet, but look, get that.
Oh yeah, you got it. You got it, man.
I met Roger Christian, and he is a crazy, amazing person.
Yeah, I was following your post, man. Very, very cool, bro. Very cool.
Yeah. But
awesome.
I think I will build up on that, Mundo. But I will say that Kenobi's lightsaber that Roger Christian made for episode 4 is, I think, the most unique design, I would say, for a lightsaber, because in his mind, it was made just an amalgamation of parts. I mean, this was supposed to be a nozzle from a Rolls-Royce jet engine. This part here was from a World War I SMLE grenade launcher.
That's what I found so fascinating, is because of that rendition right there. All the parts that they have and that they utilize to make that particular hilt is just nothing but amazing. And to be able to track down those parts, right? The grenade section, the top emitter part, I think, was part of the jet engine stuff.
Yeah.
So all of that together.
These junkyards, and here's the thing: Mr. Christian told me when he was just walking around the junkyards in Britain, these were just random parts lying around, and it just
really,
yeah.
Wow. So he just found those in a junkyard?
Yeah, pretty much. The pommel is just a sync knob from Home Depot. No, it is not. It's actually you seem like
it actually is. It actually is. If you look at it, it is, because they even did they actually did do the research on it, and it actually is a sync knob from Home Depot.
Well, I mean, it is a sync knob, but it's a specific type of sync knob.
Yeah, it is. It is a specific type. That's the kicker to it. It is.
And what's interesting is that even though this is considered to be the hero version, the hilt version, stunt versions of these were made where when they had the full-on tube and basically the control panel, basically it would the control lever here would have actually been curved.
Yeah.
And it actually would have had a switch on the side that would have lit up and vibrate, which would create the rotoscope as we see it on screen.
Huh.
Right.
Cool.
Yep. Sorry if my camera's not going there. But that's just one of those things. But
speaking of designs, but I'm working on this one for a customer, and I'm doing all the weathering on it. I'm hoping you guys can see it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Very nice DV5. Mine is right now.
This is the MMP.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm doing all the. I'm doing. Oh, maybe the camera's not so great.
It's actually MPP.
Yeah, MPP. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm losing
Looks
my
like-
mind with all these Hilt names lately, man. MMV, But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm doing all the I'm doing all the rusting. This camera sucks. Sorry, guys, but
Oh, so you're doing it post episode 5.
yeah, I'm
Episode
doing
4.
doing between ESB and Rogue One because I'm trying to get
Mhm.
the combination of the two and very
Yeah.
little bit of weathering and stuff. So it's got a whole bunch of things I've been doing to it. I'm waiting on the wires because the wires need to be put in, so they're coming soon. And then
Are you
after
getting?
that,
Are they from Wanawanga?
Mhm.
oh yeah.
Wanawanga has some really weird shipping times.
I need to see
problem.
if
He's
they've
great,
got
But I'm
the
very
part
happy.
where the black button is at.
Huh?
The part where the black button is at.
Yeah.
The part where the black round button on the top right there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I lost it or misplaced it, right?
This one here.
And yeah, that one. I cannot find mine, even though I had it with all my stuff. I cannot
Wow.
find it, and I'm looking through all my other stuff to see if I can find it. If I can't find it, I need to source it somewhere and
So
get
I
it.
also took the screw down too because this had some elevation. So I did it flat like most of the pictures. It's very hard to find good pictures of this model and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I have some really
real
good.
rust,
I
real
have.
rust pigment on here, which is really amazing, man. And he loves it, and I love it too. I think I'm going to do this for my Hilt.
Okay, so for the D-ring,
Right?
Yeah, I'm getting
Is it-
another one. Yeah,
for the D-ring on that hilt, is it longer? Is it larger?
yeah.
enough? Because
And I ordered it again
I actually
too.
talked with Roger Christian about it, and
Yeah.
one of the things when I showed him my Graflex, he asked me, "Well, why'd you put a cup? Why'd you put that little knob there?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, I based it on what was shown in the flash in."
See, this one is just fat
What
and,
up, Chet?
and short. The one that I'm getting is a little bit longer and a little bit thinner. That's how it's supposed to look, more of like an A&H style. But to be honest with you,
Yeah.
this Rogue One and the ESB clamp is almost identical. I mean, the only one that's different is the A&H that I've noticed so far. But I guess people are mixing and matching now. I don't know.
Well,
it's hard.
what I'm going to do with my ESB hilt is I'm going to ask they have a cover tech wheel put on because because unfortunately the hero hilts of the original trilogy, they weren't meant to be taken on and off the belt quickly like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and I think the only one that we see that actually comes on and off the hilt quickly is the Graflex.
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I kind of like Anakin's his Padawan lightsaber.
That one,
But what I do enjoy is the rendition of the evolution from when he was a Padawan to the point where he became Darth Vader, right?
yeah,
The evolution of that saber itself
yeah. The MP
is
was basically in canon lore. It's supposed to be a darker reflection of what the original. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. But
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's nice.
so this rendition right here, and then to what we have in Vader's, in A New Hope.
And that's a two-piece emitter on there because it's got two screws on there. It's got for the base and it's got for the other piece. Well, according to the
Right.
lore, you know what I mean? That's what they're saying. But man, there's so many renditions. I'm like, which one? And
one thing I will say is that it definitely feels like that. But one thing I will never understand is why they decided for Rogue One to use to take the DV5 and just use that, because it just doesn't work continuity wise. I don't know why they decided to do that, but it was a dumb.
I don't know. But I'll tell you, this is a really cool hilt. I'm saying, I mean, I had to. This came beautifully clean, and now it's beautifully used up like Rogue One.
I think for me, I'm thinking in the future.
That's a happy accident. That's a happy accident, dude.
I'm super happy the way this came out, man. And I'm just waiting, like I said, on the wires. And like we said, Wanawonka's got them, so I'm grabbing them from them. And I grabbed a lot of stuff from him, by the way. He's got some great, Canon pieces that you can grab, like, and the clamp cards and all that. Those clamp cards are pretty cool. I ordered one of those with the little circuit boards and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. Hey, I want to welcome Forged by Light because I don't think I've seen him on the show here before.
I actually got contacted by him a couple of days ago. He's
cool.
I live in Chattanooga. He was right over in Ringgold, Georgia. Hey, it's nice to finally connect with you, man.
So Forged by Light, welcome to the show, man. We're glad to have you, dude. Cool. And in some of the people that are just starting out, like, I want to reiterate, to do your homework because there are so many resources out there, and you can find parts and pieces that not will only enhance your build, right, but will bring you closer to not exactly full-blown accurate, but the accuracy of your hilt will be just that much closer to what you see on the film.
Yeah.
And and for those of you who really enjoy the full-blown accuracy, I commend you. But those who, like myself, I'm not too worried about the full-blown accuracy and stuff like that. As long as it's just close to it. I'm happy to have that kind of hilt. And you don't have to keep up with the Joneses either, right? You don't have to keep up with the Joneses.
I think one thing that that should be said when it comes to people who collect character hilts, such as me, is that if you're going to be wielding them at like conventions or at public events, you definitely want a hilt that that feels good in your hands, that feels comfortable. And one of the things, because I mean, like I said, when it comes to the Anakin 3 and the Obi-Wan 3, is that the control boxes, they can dig into your hands if you hold it properly. So that's why the stunt thing. What I like in recent Star Wars projects is that certain hilts that were given to certain characters where they were able to, where they're wielded, but they're not as, they're just simple to hold. Like a good example would be, Baylan Skoll's hilt from Ahsoka.
Long hilt.
It's long, yes. And it's designed with the idea that it's supposed to be held like
double grip,
great sword, like medieval long sword,
which he does most of the time, right? So
yes, and Baylan, Ray Stevenson, may he rest in peace, did that perfectly. He did it so well. I feel like the film accuracy police are becoming smaller and smaller group in these days.
With all the new hilt designs coming out, I guess, how can you deny it? Right?
Yeah.
There's so many non-canon hilts coming out just for the shits of it.
I will say
and a lot of them are cool.
Oh yeah, Starfall sabers, Phoenix props, Kennedy custom sabers. Like these guys, they make some incredible artwork. And look, when it comes to film accurate renditions of hilts, his hilt is just, it's simple, but it's definitely a departure from what we see.
I've installed about 4 of those hilts.
Right. So
I like the way they are.
Pern was mentioning the Depa Biloba, and I have to admit, I like the sleekness of it.
Yeah, man.
The slender,
almost like the Sentinel. It's very close to the Sentinel.
Oh my god! I mean,
I like that.
Yeah. Dude. I mean, I have to agree. That's a great looking hilt, man. And just the sleekness of it, the slim. I have to imagine it's going to be great feeling, very comfortable in the hand, right?
Oh, sure.
So Pern, I think with a little bit of time, I might have to invest. I'm going to invest in one of those.
Yeah, Depa's really nice. They're easy to install too. They're really nice hilts.
Are they?
well made too. I mean, they fit together nice. All the Allens are nice. The chassis.
The ones that you install, are they
cool.
from 89 Sabers? Because
you know what? I forget. I forget who's making them, because that's who it would be coming from.
89 Sabers, Next,
Yeah, okay.
89 and Nexus make the types that are deep blue. The silver ones are from TXQ.
No, I've been doing the blue ones, so they would be 89 Sabers.
Yeah, 89 Sabers. I
haven't seen the other ones.
The silver one TXQ made, because it was based off of like another or something. It was weird, but I definitely want to get my hands on an 89 version, 89 Sabers version of it.
Good quality stuff, man. You know?
Yeah. Thankfully, I know I connected with Aiden from Corbanth, and he said that he can help me with getting an empty chassis at least for it. So that would be nice.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, but one thing that I want to touch upon real quick is that when it comes to certain character hilts, the design of them does not work, because when you're transmitting it from when you're transitioning from what they look like in a game or in a cartoon, sometimes it doesn't work. Like, for example, Revan's hilt from Knights of the from Old Republic MMO, it can be held like this. It can be held. You can hold it up like this, but it doesn't feel
very good.
Yeah. Scott Carpenter here mentions the Darksaber feeling like a katana. Well, that's the design that Dave Filoni, talked about when he was developing the Clone Wars show.
Yeah,
and it's basically a thinned out katana.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have to admit that the character flaws in some of these hilts as well. Okay, so in some of the hilts that we're seeing character wise, and it may filter over into personal builds, but depending on the aesthetics of your build and how you want your things, right? You have to either sacrifice maybe your blade length, maybe your depth blade within the hilt itself, right? The blade depth. And also, if you're going in for like that control box types things, you're going to run into issues of comfortability. So with it, every hilt is going to have its challenges of certain things. And if you want it all, I think if you want the comfortability, the blade depth, and everything else in between, you may have to settle for a personal build at that point, right? Because at that point, you can really control everything that you want within that saber, as far as creativity goes, right? Now, during the process of acquiring and working on character hilts, like I said, you run into issues of blade depth, like the Kenobi, or and other hilts such as those. And then you have well, let's talk about some of the very short hilts, like Yoda's hilt, or even Evan Peel, right? I've got a picture of Evan Peel right here, and so those. So those pictures, I mean, those hilts that are small, one-handed, unless you're a child, one-handed sabers, right? And you probably wouldn't be able to put too long of a blade on it, because I would say it would throw off a lot of the weight distribution on it. But then again, what do I know?
Well, it all depends on how you wield it. It all depends on how you're wielding it, what the styles are. There's a plethora of styles out there and then there's always new styles coming out because of the way hilts are designed. Some things you just can't do. Like, I always have a hard time doing stuff with the Graflex, swinging that thing around, because everything is in the way. Box card, the bunny ears, and then I just wind up, working at it, because by the time you're done, got a nice gash in the side of your thumb. I know I have. I mean, Vader's is a little different. You know, at
Yeah.
least you have some very little up here. You know, when you're trying to. Oh, there goes the blade plug. I hate when that happens. It always goes flying across the room. But you know, it doesn't have as much stuff, and also because this is on the bottom, his card. You know, well, at least on this hilt, it's on the bottom. You know, you don't have it on the side, so it's not as such a pain in the butt. You know, I find.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
At
see,
least
like for me, that kind of build is kind of nice because I have big hands, man, and my hand fits pretty good on the bottom of it, so I don't have to go all the way up to where the control box is
right.
to play around with it. And it feels comfortable in my hand. But of course, what people have to understand who are getting into the hobby too, that Darth Vader's hands were big to begin with
Oh
because
yeah.
that
Well,
that particular hilt was built for his robotic hand, not his regular hand.
Yeah, it's basically an enlarged, darker version of
it's a rendition of it. Yeah, it's a rendition of
Mhm.
his older one.
of the AOTC hilt.
Yeah. But I'll tell you something, you know, and with all his power and all his strength and everything to hold this and a blade, I mean, you got to understand that there's no weight in if it was a real plasma blade like there's no weight, so you're not dealing with any weight. You're dealing with just
Mhm.
this basically, and the only weight that you're going to have with a real plasma blade is just the connection and the push,
Yeah.
according to the storyline. So that's how I believe it to be. So he could go really fast because there's no topical weight. We're all trying here, swinging our hilts. And oh man, a 36-inch blade's killing me, man. You know, so that's what I think. That's where the difference is. You know.
Yeah. And each saber, all right. If we're gonna go back to the character design,
Mm.
now each character hilt has parts or likenesses of their master sabers, right? So you've got different renditions of sabers that the Padawans made because out of respect to their masters, they kind of emulated some aspects of their hilts. Much like Qui-Gon Jinn and uh was it Kenobi, right?
And I think
So
that original concept came from uh, when George Lucas decided to give Luke basically the stunt version of Obi-Wan's hilt and sort of modify it into his own, which would use it for Return of the Jedi.
right, but if you go and you look at Qui-Gon Jinn's hilt, right?
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn's first hilt, and then his second rendition. Um, it is uncanny that um you had two versions of it, right? Let me see if I can find it in here. And I find okay. So Obi-Wan had a a hilt that was based off of Qui-Gon's,
Yeah,
right?
based off of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Obi-Wan.
So this is Obi-Wan's first hilt, right?
Yeah.
His Padawan hilt.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit of a rendition of Qui-Gon Jinn's hilt. And I do like the fact that um Qui-Gon, let me see if I can find Qui-Gon in here. There we go. So if you can see some of the aesthetics that go into Qui-Gon's I think this was his second hilt? Qui-Gon's second hilt?
That's his first. That's
That's his
I
first.
think that's the first one.
That's his Padawan hilt when he was under what's his name?
What does it say in the description? That should tell you right there, right?
Let's see. Qui-Gon's typical Jedi Horse Master, disregard for Orthodox.
Probably just generic.
Qui-Gon Star, Phantom Menace voices, versus
Because they may have one a listing on it. If it's generic, it's just going to describe what it is. Doesn't
yeah. Oh yeah. It doesn't describe that it was, whether his second one. Yeah.
It might be his first one, and he kept it. You know.
Yeah. I actually like this design of Qui-Gon's,
Yeah,
man.
it's nice.
I prefer this design over the other one.
I mean, I will say that when it comes to those designs and the clan hilts that were made for episode 1, 2, and 3, I think it was a way of cutting of being cheap on the production. Which, I mean,
Hmm.
I talked with Roger Christian about it, and he had some issues about it. Like, for example, Obi-Wan choosing his lightsaber in the behind the scenes footage with Ewan McGregor. Um,
Hmm.
he understood why they did it. He just wishes that there could have been more of a more creative process around it. But I mean, I told him that I told him my opinion on it. I can understand where he was coming from, but ultimately, it all comes down to ultimately it just fits in, and those, I think, little decisions that were made in the moment, I think ultimately they do
Hmm.
the history of it, but nonetheless, it still looks amazing.
Oh, it does. And I think, and that's the thing that you got so many renditions. It is the Star Wars lightsaber collection, dude.
A
Yeah,
nice
that's
Mo-
great.
a nice book to have on your coffee table.
Yeah.
yes, definitely, dude. I
I
mean,
just got the other
this
one,
is
and now
what.
I got to get that one. You keep showing me all these books, and I'm like, oh no, I want that one now.
Yeah, the thing about the books, especially like the Star Wars Encyclopedia, those come out almost every single year or two.
Yeah.
New movie. Like, for example, one time I got a Hanukkah gift from my sister, for my apartment. It was the one with the Last Jedi. But the problem
Hmm.
with it is that it went all the way up to the Last Jedi, but not Rise of Skywalker. And I'm like, Eliza, and I was this close to telling my sister, you shouldn't have got me this because it just, yeah. I told my it was man.
So I'm just getting
Yeah, Mo, it's on
just
Amazon.
ordered the ultimate visual guide updated. So I want to see how that one looks like because
See,
Well,
that's why
there's a High Republic one that I want to get too, with
oh
all the
yeah,
sabers from the High Republic.
now that's
And
now High Republic, there's
yeah.
an issue with that because there so far Nexus and TXQ and a few others have come up with High Republic sabers that look great. Like, for example, Jawa's Junkyard, they came up with one based off of
yeah, it's on Amazon. So.
the Porter, based off of I forget his name, but it looks like a cutlass. It looks beautiful, and Stellan
Mhm.
Gylos with his cross guard and just so on and so forth. But then we get to the Acolyte, 100 years before the events of Return of the Jedi, before 100 years before.
I
Um,
kind of see how they went,
we get
and they were very generic. They were very generic on that show.
even like, I mean, I don't know whether it was because of having to do with the batteries, with just like they could have. It was so embarrassing. Like,
Yeah.
I talked with Roger Christian about it, and he hates the Acolytes. He did hate the Acolytes,
So
and
what's
I
in this?
Yeah.
this is Venestra Rose,
Oh, okay.
the one with the.
I think the only one that I think was good was the Sith one, man. That was it.
Yeah,
That was
Chimeras.
Chimeras was the only one
And
that I think was worth a
I mean,
damn.
I talked with him, and he thought the choreography was decent, but he wishes he doesn't understand why they wouldn't bring back Nick Gillard and the people that made the original trilogy, made the prequel trilogy so good with the choreography. But
Yeah.
at the same time, he just said the lightsabers were just terrible.
Mm.
And I'm
No,
kind of hoping that he sees this video and just nods and remembers this, because like. And look,
I really wish you would have got a hold of him, Barris, and and we could have had him on the show tonight. Would have
I
been
mean, what do you
excellent.
want? I'm not going. I mean, what you think I should just message him over Instagram? Hey, Mr. Christian, it's my. I'm not
Why
sure
not?
the
Why
problem.
not, dude?
Sure.
If you want me to do it, I'll do it, dude. I have
Dude,
no bounds,
go
dude.
ahead.
I can do
All
it.
right, you do it.
If you
And
want
just
me to do it,
say,
I'll do it.
the guy who pointed me in your direction is a guy named Barrett Slevovitz. You met him in Dalton, Georgia. He's the one with the Star Wars kippah. That will help jog his memory.
Yeah, dude, because I got listen. If you watched Mad Cow's live
Yeah,
about
I heard.
quitting GCS, he agreed to come onto the show after his sabbatical, man. I am still in shock. I am still in shock. I love that we get to talk to,
He is.
a legend in the vid.
Yeah, he's been around for over what? Over 15 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
20 years he's been doing lightsaber stuff, dude. Not necessarily, I mean, when I first started watching his stuff was back, I think in what, 2015, 14, somewhere in there. In 2017, I started just really hanging out with Space and everybody online, and it blossomed from there, man. But I mean, I tell you, yeah, man, yeah, and then I'm still in shock that he agreed. But he's taking a sabbatical right now, away from any lightsaber stuff and all that. But he will be on the show, and so I have to wait a little bit. We all got to wait till the fall. After the fall, then we will see where he's at and when he'd be available. I like Kiadi Mundi's type of hilt as well.
Yeah,
It
that
is a great
hilt is.
looking design.
No, I agree. It looks. It's a simple clan saber look. It's not. It's not. It's not overly complicated. It's simple. And you know what's interesting is that in episode 3, where it shows him getting completely gunned down by his own troops, he actually didn't use that hilt. He actually was using what was known as the Battle Master. It was the spare stunt saber that Sin Dralig or Nick Gillard was using in the scenes that he filmed as Sin Dralig in Operation Nightfall.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Now James has got one of these, and he's done an amazing job on his.
Bright Star.
Love that one, man.
Yeah, that hill.
That was Junkyard, man.
That thing is just. Yeah, that thing is.
And I gotta get Leon on here, man.
It's beautiful. That's a great hilt, man, and that's why I made that stand and everything for it, because it just sits on the wall. It looks perfect. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, KB.
I tried to, if I like we're talking about design, right? So if I decide that I want to buy a hilt, I go for the most unique things that are out there. Canon hilts, I've got a whole bunch of them. They're in the case, but the ones that I like personally, of course, My next one is probably going to be the BMF. I'm going to get one of those because I really enjoy how they look. I may want to try and look into getting the Sidious again because I need that for the collection too. So those are nice,
I've got a line on a Sidious that will take a 1-inch blade.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I talked to the guy on the Facebook pages, and he agreed to sell me his 2020 AR Sabers version of the Emperor.
That's
which
nice.
takes a 1-inch blade.
Yeah.
Wow.
250 empty.
Nice. That's great.
And I also found where I can get the chassis
Cool.
at a minimal price, around $50 after tax and shipping. So yeah,
that's great.
Let me ask you, James, how much would you charge me if I was to send you that with the chassis for an installation?
Well, it all depends on what you're gonna want with it, what board, there's a lot of details. So I'd probably message me on that, but because there's
it's better to message.
There's a lot of things we'll have to talk about with the install and what parts you want. When we're going high, low. There's all kinds.
Well, I don't want anything fancy. I mean, already the hilt itself is fancy, and from what I understand, the KR Sabers version of that hilt weighs a bit.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh yeah.
So let
Definitely.
me,
Yeah. Good stuff.
yeah, yeah. For any, let me just put this out there right now. Barris, this has nothing to do with you either, man. But for anybody who's actually wanting, some kind of work on their chassis and installs and stuff, it's always better to go ahead and message the installer, because if you come, and I'm glad you're here and I love you being here and everything, but at the same time, there's a lot of details to work out with installers and everything.
It's true.
So
A little bit. I
yeah,
mean, just
it's
there's some things, but it's always best to go be on one as far as an install is concerned, because there's many different variations of what
right,
we can do,
yeah,
and we can never do like a set. Hey, I can just do this for this, because we never know what we're gonna find,
right,
or
right,
maybe it's a
and
better
that's just
part
what I'm
or
saying.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and that's just what I'm saying is that there's so many details,
Oh yeah.
and I don't want to, I don't necessarily want to take away from the show in terms of having to deal with stuff like that on here,
Oh yeah.
um, and so again, like I said, Paris, this has nothing to do with you, dude. I just want to make sure that anybody who's in the comments and everything like that, and who will be watching the show later on, that they understand that as well, because here we want to talk about stuff, but I don't want to talk. I don't want to have to put installers to kind of talk about that stuff on here, because to me that's a private thing for the people, the
Yeah. Oh,
installer,
sure. Most definitely.
between the installer and the buyer, right? Um, you don't really want anybody to know your business either, because sometimes people will say, "Oh, I can do this, I can do that," and they may not be reputable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's a
I
lot of
want to
things,
make sure.
I would just suggest that anybody, if you're if you're looking for something, just to contact that person, or contact myself as an installer, or Saber, a font maker, or anything like that. So you go over the
Yeah,
details. That's all. Yeah, it's
yeah. The detailing is much better to do it in,
yeah.
that way than it is on here.
Oh yeah.
Um, because because if something happens, and people get irritated with each other, I really don't want to put it on here either. So, just FYI, yeah, we're here to have a lot of fun and stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
um, so we're gonna
Design.
do it that way. Designs.
What do I got for a design?
Now, one design that I have not seen emulated very much is Mace Windu's.
Ah.
Bears, what's your take on that?
Mace. Well, one thing I will say is that actually, what's interesting is that um, originally they had Mace. They had Samuel Jackson have just one of the random clan sabers that that.
The
that
wife wants to say hi.
oh,
Hey.
hello there.
How are
Say hi,
you?
babe.
Hello.
This is Kelly. This is Kelly. This is my wife, guys.
Pleasure to
Hello
meet
there.
you.
Hi, nice to meet y'all.
We're all from across the
Yeah.
world, right?
Yeah, she's the one responsible for me getting some of my parts and everything.
All
She gives me
right.
a budget. She gives me a budget, and I go with it.
That's excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. But as I was saying, when it comes originally, I think it was this type of hilt that Mace Windu had when he was when it was in episode 1, I think. I don't know.
Really?
There was Samuel Jackson didn't get the hilt that for what he had in episode 2 until he talked with George Lucas about it. And
Yeah.
the way they described it in Old EU was that there was this sort of tradition that Jedi had where they where Jedi would exchange their hilts to that sort of thing. But I will say, hey, don't bash Sidious's hilt. I like 1-inch blades because I like to duel with them. Okay, don't
Oh
bash.
yeah.
his
No,
hilt.
nothing wrong with that. No,
Yeah.
there's no bashing on anything, dude. There
And
is no bashing on anything.
judge me, but if I come at you with a red blade, with a Reddit blade that's 1 inches, it's not going to be pleasant. Mm-mm-mm. No, just kidding. You're good, dude. But yeah, don't
have a
get
promise.
1 inch hilts. But as I was saying, but then when episode 2 came around when they were filming it, the one that says Samuel Jackson wanted a better hilt. He wanted his own style. And when we saw that close up of the hilt in the Geonosian arena, it's amazing. This is my version. This is from X-Tech. And it originally came with a little screw, a little like faux pommel, but it looked awful. So what I did was I got a screw from Ace Hardware, a metal spacer in between, and I put a wheel on, so that way I'm able to hitch it onto my belt.
Oh yeah, good job. Yeah,
it looks great.
You know, and even Dooku's,
I like them.
even
They're stylish.
Dooku's
You know what I mean? It's got some style and it's different from everything else. And those are the kind of hilts that I like to go for. Is something unique. And a lot of people got the graph
uniqueness,
the Obies, but those things are, you can't really find them.
I'm actually thinking of getting the anodized.
I mean, you can find them, but
I'm getting the oxidized version of this hilt. X-Tech has an oxidized version of this hilt that looks more like the one from the Clone Wars cartoons. And I'm getting the oxidized version because, don't get me wrong, this looks great, but I don't like. It's a fingerprint magnet. I would try and avoid it. But what's cool is that with this type of hilt is that access to the chassis is very simple. Just simply gotta tighten everything.
Now that's one of the things that I find very I really like the type of hilts that are actually very easy to get to the chassis. Right?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
That's nice.
No. Turn it on, buddy. Turn it on. Let's hear it. You better have bad mofo on it.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And what's neat is that this takes a 1 inch blade, and yet it still looks really great.
No,
the
it's great.
Sabers version.
I'm surprised it takes a 1 inch blade. I would have thought it would take a 7/8.
89 does.
Usually 89 and some of the newer versions do because out of look and authenticity. But I think it all comes down to how the look comes in, because it's supposed to be slim, but at the same time you're supposed to make it look nice. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to, man. I need to, Chet. I need to. I got the gold and black right now. The other one will be the other F-16 will be my Mortal Kombat. Both of them will be my Mortal Kombat sabers, dude. Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Oh wow.
Those are gonna be my Mortal Kombat hilts, because you know that the blue and black is of course Sub-Zero. Then you have the golden and black on Scorpions, so those are going to be my Mortal Kombat hilts, which is the F-16.
Nice.
Oh hey,
from TTSS.
Speaking of which, James, speaking of I want to share something quickly with you. Juan Sith released a new font bundle that I think you might find interesting. Have you ever read Splinters of the Mind's Eye?
I've heard of it. I haven't read it.
The first actual sequel to A New Hope by Alan Dean Forster.
Okay.
He made a version of the fonts that Luke and Vader were supposed to have when they fought on Mimban.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Technically, they're just repurposed DV4 and Graphics ANH sounds. But
Is it an audiobook? Is it an audiobook?
The original novel, yes, but this is a Saber font.
No. I understand that, but the Saber font that he made came out of that particular book, right? That particular novel.
I think so, but he also used, I think, some AI when it came to he used the template from Mark Hamill's interview in 2004, 2005 as the template.
Okay, I need to go back and see if it's in my audiobooks, man.
Well,
I have a ton of audiobooks.
I'm ashamed to say that I have never read Splinters in the Mind's Eye, and I need to.
Yeah, they still have it out here. I guess Wikipedia's got not Wikipedia. It has a couple of different places have it.
Well,
Amazon's
James,
got
do
it.
you have James? Do you have any of those audiobooks?
No, not at all. I pretty
I'll
much
keep
go
them.
on what I go on what. Be honest with you, I go on what my clients tell me and what they want. That's how I
Okay.
do it. You know, I mean, I
I'll
follow.
PM you.
I have some knowledge, not as much knowledge apparently as Barris, because Barris just blew my butthole away with all that stuff. That's amazing, by the way. Great knowledge. But my job is to just make sure that those hilts go out and then they get their stuff done to them, and that's it.
Yeah.
I love the lore, and my version of this is I want to see Old Republic films. You know how we got into this a whole bunch of months ago.
I think that I think when it comes to the Old Republic, I definitely think that Disney needs to look at what made it so good.
I mean,
Legends.
I went to the first showing of the 1977 film. I was there. I was in the movie theater, so everything from that point on was just fantastic. All the movies, the trilogies, the series. As long as it has Star Wars in it, it really doesn't matter to me. It's like it really is kind of great. And you get so many great ideas and people and more outcome of things to come. Basically, it's everything is just it's awesome. I mean, and
Now
all
another design.
too, not just the hilts. There's sounds. There's all kinds of things coming out.
Absolutely.
One thing I do want to mention when it comes to character hilts is that there are what I've noticed recently with, for example, Ahsoka and with Mandalorian is the taking of hilts that were animated and bringing them to live action.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
A good example of this was when they did Ezra's second hilt. Or Bean's hilt.
Yes.
And
I like that design though. I really like that design.
And the neat thing about this hilt is that this is the Nexus version. One thing that really neat that I like that Nexus did was these fins. They can detach. You can detach them, and you can put on and it makes it just look like it just as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah, see these little rivets right there.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
All right.
And it just works.
Yeah. Well, options are nice, man. When you have a lot of options for the hilt, I think that's what a lot expect from. I mean. I love the parts that you could just keep taking apart. Pommel caps, grips, all that. I think it makes it a little bit easier for us to determine what to do as far as an install, but also, to give it some bling, give it some other stuff like speaker pods. Oh, just pull it out here, make it the hilt, like take crystals out, all kinds of cool things that you're able to do. But remember, tight spaces. Leaves for no places. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying. I'm working with NN's hilt right now, and it's very tight. It's a board, it's a Bluetooth module, it's a battery and a speaker, and it's all got to shove into this little guy. This very thin 99.99 little tube, and then line everything up correctly, and then have these switches work. It's like that is it takes a little bit of time, but it's cool because you get to experiment and it becomes a totally different hilt.
Because I agree with that, James, because the design of the hilt really delegates the type of room that you're going to have inside where the guts go, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where the chassis is going to go. I mean, it dictates the kind of build that you're going to have.
You can put so much in this thing. It's ridiculous. You could gut this whole thing out and put chambers and all kinds of stuff because it's almost 2 inches wide. It's like 1.5 inches or something.
Wait, is that a master replica?
Right.
This is the MPP. Yeah.
No, but
what?
Is it a master replica's MPP?
No.
Oh,
this is KR's Corbin KR's, I think.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me get them.
I
have like so many of these things. I keep forgetting which one it is. I gotta get the block. It's the MMP version.
I saw on the bottom there was some writing, and I thought I saw on the bottom
I'll tell you which one it is right now. I'm sorry, guys. I have so many of these things laying around right now. I'm just like, I'm going bananas with the names.
This is why I admire lightsaber collectors who only collect one specific type of hilt.
Yeah,
there are those that will collect so many, like Anakin Skywalker Episode 3 hilts. There'll be ones from Korbanth, ones from 89 sabers, ones from Nexus, from TXQ, and so on and so on and so forth. And I'm just like, and I knew some, and you just ask, how do you remember which one is which? It's like, it's the little details, my friend. It's the little
Well,
details.
it's like an art collector, dude. I mean, you got a
so
serious
much
art
art
collector
detail in this
who
thing, man.
goes,
And I did exactly what the customer wanted, and that's that to me, that really makes the grade, man, because they want, if they can't do it themselves or something like that, they want to get close to screen accuracy. So boy, I had like about 30-40 pictures right in front of me and scribing this thing like each inch, each millimeter by millimeter to try and get it as close as possible, But
yeah, I'm like, okay, if it's close, I'm good, man. Don't stress too much about doing like full on accuracy, dude. But again, this is like saber collecting is like paintings, right? You've got
yeah,
Rembrandts, you got Renoirs, you got, I mean, all of these different painters, and you got all of these collections of all these different painters, right? But you got so many that you don't even know who's anymore, and it's like, oh my god! But
Yeah.
how can you tell from the Da Vinci to the Rembrandt, right?
In my case, what I've done is like I mentioned before, I have one wall that is all character hilts, and the next all canon hilts, and the next one, and my other wall, which is all going to be hilts from Legends and non-canon hilts, so design hilts. And everything. And the only two non-canon hilts I have are my Star Killer from the first Force Unleashed, and my my Tusken Gadfy one, which is suffice to say, it's definitely a big one.
Okay, KR guys, KR. Sorry.
Oh, it's KR. So yeah, that is KR. KR sabers is probably the most accurate version you will ever see out of a hilt. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, he's very adamant
can't wait
about
to get the wires and put them
accuracy.
on here, man. This thing is just.
It's gold. It's gold, man. It's
gold.
Star Wars.
It's gold to the client. I'll tell you that, because
it's Star Wars gold, man. Because it's an established hilt. It's an established hilt. Now let's kind of switch gears here and go into personal builds, right? Personal likes, personal dislikes, and let's go into something kind of like off the grid, so to speak. Now, I want to take the rendition of let's say Count Dooku's type of hilt, a curved hilt. And if I may use Rob's Bad-X as an example of a curved hilt, but a personal kind of build that reflects not only his personality and of who he is, but of what he's accomplished as well, right? So, you have all kinds of different curved hilts out there. And again, we're not going to go to like the Asajj Ventress. I'm just using the Count Dooku's just as to start the personal kind of builds, right? And I've seen a few other hilts out there that are kind of pretty cool and stuff.
When you say personal builds, what do you mean? Like built by hand, or you're talking about actually somebody who's installing let's say a pair of Ahsokas or something? What do you?
No, I'm talking about personal builds, like I said,
builds,
because Rob built the Bad-X, right? So you have different companies that build, let's say, a curved saber of some sort.
Sure.
They're not necessarily going for the character itself, but a personal artistic rendition of a curved hilt.
It was quite a few out there.
Yeah, like the Saberforge Bane.
That was nice. I had that once. I had sold that one a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love that hilt though. It was nice.
The SF Bane has become actually pretty popular amongst collectors in a lot. of
Mhm.
recently, especially with anodized versions of and different that sort of thing. But yeah, but and that's the thing when it comes to the Darth Bane hilt is that people there's never been a singular accurate version because the
Mhm.
only person who we probably know of who knows the accurate version is the author of the Darth Bane trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, very true.
but there are definitely some incredible versions out there.
1.50. Okay, yeah, sure. You
Yeah.
see, so you have an inch and a half to play with, which is pretty wide. You know, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
So you can
I
shove a whole bunch of stuff in there.
I own the 2003 and the 2005 Vader: A New Hope and Vader: Empire Strikes Back, and while they are chunky, they still feel good. In the
Yeah,
hand.
sure.
And I
I
mean,
actually have a Force Effects converted, man. The thing looks great. I put my
and
whole wires in it. And everything.
I actually took my Graflex ANH and I put it beside Roger Christian's the Graflex Shop hilt, the one that he personally had done the dimensions to. And if you look at it from a distance, they look
Mhm.
basically the same.
Mhm.
The only thing, if when you look closer, is that the Master Replicas version doesn't have the word Graflex on it, and it's a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
Like that's how close Master Replicas was, and this was from the 2000s.
Yes.
And people, they want to say which one is the most accurate one, and as Roger Christian said, anal saber collectors.
Yeah, if you're going for that saber, that's great. You can.
Yeah.
I don't find anything wrong with trying to get it as close as possible. People have a heart to go for those things, and I don't think they should be denied that. I mean, like I said, with this thing, man, I did my wholehearted best on this thing just to make sure that he is happy, and that's all that counts. Whether it's canon or not canon or something else, it's really up to the person who owns the hill. It's all
And have you seen I don't know if you guys seen or not, and I'm pretty sure you have because it's an old video, but have you ever checked out Space Window's ancient Graflex build?
I think I saw it like a year or two ago.
Which one?
Space Window's ancient Graflex build.
With the wires coming out?
Yeah, with the wires coming out.
Yep, I know that.
I made the clamp card for him, and it fits so perfectly on that build, man.
I gotta go back and look at it again. I think he still has a video, right?
He does. He still has the video out there. But what I want to say is that
it won something, didn't it? It won something.
Yeah, it did. It did. I forgot what it was because it was so long ago. But I think there was a contest, a Graflex contest that was going on,
a couple of years ago.
And he won the Graflex contest with that build, man. And
a cool looking hilt, though, man.
Yeah.
There's only one.
I mean, unbelievable, dude. I was so honored. I really was so honored that he actually put my clamp card on there and ran with it.
Nice.
I actually showed Roger Christian my Force Unleashed hilt, the Star Killer, and he said that it definitely mimics what the Graflex would be if it was more junked. But ultimately, he said his ultimate version is the Graflex that he built. But ultimately, I will say that when it comes to scrap flexes and and those type of hilts, they are supposed to be antique memorabilia in a sense. Like for example, you ever had a baseball signed by a famous baseball player like Mickey Mantle or Babe Ruth or anything like that? I feel like that's what a scrap flex is supposed to be. Something, but still looks like it can still hold out.
Right. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. There's so many great ones, great designs out there from.
Oh yeah. Like with.
I still want to make a scrap flex. I have so many parts. I think I'm going to grab myself the body kit and then just start going to town with it, because I've got
Yeah,
Star Killer and all that stuff. So I don't need to
I
make
really
it
like the Star Killer Hilt.
I
I
like
like the
both.
Star Killer Hilt design.
And there are many renditions of it
So many.
because of how it was animated and drawn in the Force Unleashed.
Yep.
Like there's not really a singular like accurate version. There's
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
and that's what makes it such a very popular hilt. I mean, I would
Hmm.
say the only person who would actually know what the Star Killer saber actually looks like is the guy who probably are the people who probably designed it when they were doing the Force Unleashed back in '07 or just as they were releasing it in '08.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I really like Jeremy's Scrapflex stuff that he's been producing. Solo Savers, man. I tell you, he's
Yeah,
come
that's
out with some really good stuff. And then you have Tirfon Orbital, who has
Oh yeah.
come out with some phenomenal personal builds on different things, right? So, Tim, if you guys are watching, you and Jeremy and Benji, I mean, you guys like just blow it out of the water as far as personal builds. And of course, you know that Benji Nerfherder, came in league and joined up with Leon from Jawas Junkyard and has the
Yeah.
crate slayer
yeah.
build, and I like that kind of build as well. The aesthetic of it is just unbelievably cool as shit, dude.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I liked it, dude. I mean, it is a total badass hilt, and that's what I'm talking about. Personal design and stuff like that, man. That is within universe, but not necessarily canon. And you don't see a whole lot of really artistic renditions of different hilts coming out. And yeah, the steampunkish, right, Scott, is really cool. Um, so the artistic ability of people to come out now is kind of dwindling a little bit, but I have hopes and dreams that some people are going to say, dude, we're not done yet. I mean, it's slowing down, but at the same time, so I see a lot of different things coming out. I mean, we're getting better chassis, we're getting better builds, we're getting better boards. The um the electronics, the tech that is coming out is actually fitting and befitting of what we're seeing, what is coming out now. And by the time you know it, personal builds will be the type of build that people are like, ooh, I want that. I want
There's
that
quite
over the
there's a
Kenobi.
couple of
I
different
want,
hilts out there that definitely
you know,
attracts a lot of people. I mean, I've seen a
yeah.
couple in Dark Wolf Sabers has got that one crazy big ass sword thing, man. I said put me on the list for that.
Wait,
Huh?
what are you talking about?
Remember,
What?
did you see that big black sword with the sheath and all that stuff that was on one of those videos, man? I said
Yeah,
put me
I
on
saw
the
that.
list for
That's the
that.
Gaming Sabers thing.
That
And
thing's ridiculous, man.
what I don't know what that thing. What that I don't know.
I don't know what it is yet.
No, imagine shipping that thing. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's got to go in. It's going to go in its own case. I guarantee you.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Or
And look
I
at
hope.
look at
But I said put me on the list for that because that thing looks great. I mean, it's really looks like it's well done. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
well,
It must be
here,
still
here,
under
here
production.
is somebody. If somebody has not seen or somebody who does not know about Darth Alice
Oh yeah.
produces some of the most beautiful and fantastic samurai katana hilts
Oh yeah.
that you can imagine. I mean, they are samurai worthy sabers, man. And I tell you, I'm proud to know him as a friend, and he and I text each other every now and then to, and he'll show me some pieces that he's working on. As a matter of fact, he sent me some pics of the that's that proto saber too. That
Oh
James that
yeah.
you've done, he's done a proto saber as well, and he sent me some pics of his proto saber, and
Oh,
oh
they're
my
great.
god, dude,
Yeah.
oh dude, and
I
and,
mean, it's
and stuff like that.
imagination, right? It's all imagination.
Yes,
It's amazing
yes,
stuff.
dude, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole point. If you got an imagination, if you got a drive, if you got the funds, and even if you don't have the funds, but you can save up the funds and get it, go for it. If
Yeah.
you are if you're a serious collector, if you're a serious collector, there is nothing that can stop you from getting what you want, man. But the you have bills and everything. Everybody's got bills, dude. But you work around it. I mean, if you got to get extra jobs, shit. I tell you, I'll go and I do a 14, 15 hour shift, man, just for extra money to get, just to get some money for a hill. And right now, like I said, I've got to finish the ones that I've got, because if I keep buying hilts, I'm never going to complete one. So I got to do the ones that I have.
Yeah, I want to try and
But
build mine this summer, man. I'm gonna hit the lathe. I'm gonna try and make my own this summer, man, because I haven't done it yet. I mean, I did one a long, long time ago, but like out
in
of
a
like
galaxy far, far away.
yeah, right here. That's where I am, right here in this bar. That's where I made the design.
That's okay. I'm drinking for you,
Look,
buddy.
this place is. I'm so far ahead of time. My bartender hasn't moved since the program started, so I don't know what he's kind of doing.
Right.
He's
I'm gonna
tanking.
have to have a talk with that. I'm gonna have a talk with that
Yeah, he's
bartender.
not
God dang
moving,
it!
so I
You
think I
see?
did something. I don't know.
Damn it!
But anyway,
Well, he's not gonna be at my bar at Albatross Junction. I'll tell you that
I
much.
don't know. Well, his bar is pretty dead. I think I chased everybody out, man, because I don't know. I froze him with my stun gun, so that's what happened. He's like,
Oh my God, Scott. Yes, the Scottish basket. Oh my God. If nobody has seen that saber, oh my God. Dude, I'm telling you, Darth
Which
Alice has some very, very artistic sabers, man. Very artistic sabers. And for somebody who doesn't know Darth Alice, you gotta go check his stuff out. Like and subscribe to the dude, man. I'm
oh yeah,
telling
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, it is
yeah. Wow.
unbelievable. Barris, what's going on through your mind there?
sorry, I
I
got lost in my
wonder.
train of thought for a
Well,
second.
I guess the what you call it, the sister hilts, with the big round bladed disc and all that stuff. I guess that was their version, basically, of the basket at that time. I mean, I don't think.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe the Old Republic has baskets, but I don't know if I've never seen any baskets like that in the Old Republic yet.
Nah, the closest thing we get to having a guard like that, that's sort of medieval like, are the Inquisitor hilts and
Yeah.
Porter, and the ones that the port and some of the hilts from Rise of Scott from High Republic. Let me also just say, when it comes to,
Now,
I just want to say because of the Inquisitor hilts, aesthetically, the Inquisitor hilts look nice, and those
There it
hilts
is.
designed for intimidation, really, because the spinning blade, it's supposed to promote, it's supposed to
Intimidation.
fear in
Yep.
fear.
mhm.
But when you go up against a well-trained Jedi who has his emotions covered,
Yep.
like that
Like
spinning
Ahsoka.
blade, like Ahsoka, like Cal Kestis,
She took
like
Malik
Kanan,
down, man. Boom. I mean, she took what's his face down and the
Skullbird.
series.
I call him Skullbird.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one, dude. I have to admit that was a good one.
Basically,
Yeah,
Ahsoka
there's nothing here.
Ahsoka took down the 7th and 5th brother. She took down the 11th brother.
Oh yeah.
Cal Kestis took down Second Sister and Masana Tide twice, and which is the Ninth Sister. Maroc, I mean, like if you look at some of the hilts that the Ren hilt, that I do not know how or why that hilt ever came into being.
Huh.
That hilt is really interesting. I will say though that the only ones that I know of that were made was a custom version that's by the POC store or Ultimate Works, and one that was made at the Disney parks. I think there's like one more out there, but I forget who the designer was on that. But ultimately, that hilt it's definitely interesting.
Does that book basically have all the hilts in it, Mundo?
Quite a bit of them, dude. Quite a bit of them. Like the Malicos that's right here too.
Yeah, Terran Malicos hilts are definitely. I would say that the most accurate, the ones that I definitely want to get from that Terran Malicos' hilts are the Deimos, which is the one that Saber Trio makes.
Now it does have Cal Kestis's in here too.
Yeah.
So
Cal's hilt, that is the version that Cal forged after it was destroyed on Dathomir. But Cal Kestis' hilt is another example of a character hilt that came from a video game, but actually works in real life.
yeah. Now and as well as Kanan Jarrus's, because Kanan Jarrus's, I really like that one. The design of that hilt.
I've got the solo gold version.
I'll get back.
I like that one. I haven't even taken it out of the case, man. I mean, it's nice. It's pretty cool. It's got the green wrap on it. It came out pretty nice. So.
Yeah, for sure, right? Oh my God! See,
that's it.
This is the Nexus version, and
okay.
What's nice about this one is that this is where the charging port is, right in there.
Nice.
And the button's right here.
Nice.
That's the Nexus.
Yeah, this is the Nexus version.
Okay.
Actually,
mine's way smaller than that one.
Brewster actually gave this to me in a trade with a spare Ezra hilt that I had.
I'm gonna go get mine.
But this one actually feels pretty good, and the control box is actually, it doesn't dig into the hands as much. So
yeah,
good. And what's neat is that this one actually you can unscrew it, and
I think I want to get I want to get two versions of that hilt, and I like that you can unscrew that to it like that.
I don't like the version that TXQ did with the blue on it. I mean, it looks nice, but
I think I'd go. I think I'd go with the more expensive one, which is oh gosh, I forgot who made the.
There are different ones out there, but the one that by looks nice. Oh,
look at that.
That is the Solos Hold.
Solos Hold one. Yeah, I love this one.
That's
wow.
Oh,
yeah.
And
yours is
But guess what I did to it?
What do you do?
I used the screw, and now I can move the head.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, definitely badass.
So I modified this so I could do that because that's how he has it. He had one piece on one piece on the belt clip, So I wanted to represent that. Oh, I love
that's what it's all about. There is continuity between the design.
Yeah. Just like trying to get it as close as you can to what you think you would want to see in it. Like when I separated those parts, so but I love this one. It's really good. I love the buttons on the side. They got the buttons on the side, and then the arrows work great. Everything's nice on this one. Love this hilt.
I would like to get the two versions of that hilt, right? That version and then the Ezra version of that hilt.
Oh yeah. I still want to get that one. I want to get the blaster, combination. I like that. It's so unique,
I want to it is unique. It is unique.
That takes a 1-inch blade, and there are only two versions of that I know of that do that. There's the one that's made by Ultra Sabers, and the one that's made by the POC store. Now, I'm actually thinking of going with the Ultra Sabers one because because it's big enough to not only hold a big ass speaker, but
Ah,
it also has a thing where you're also able to to do a blaster effect with it.
mm.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking, what if I was to send it over to Jonathan Rossi of Sabres Forever? He's done conversions of the airsoft blasters, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
what if he can install a separate profi board and a separate battery and do that?
Sure, you could.
And
Yeah.
it could work.
Sure, you could.
I mean, I would probably have to pay him $500 just to do it because he'd basically have to take the whole thing apart.
That's what we
Yeah.
have to do anyway as installers.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
redesign the design. You know.
But here's the thing:
Yeah.
I would actually, if I do get Ezra's first saber from Ultra Sabers, I'm going to have to do it in person because I would have to ask for it because it's a specific way of doing it. I'm not gonna. It would have to be completely empty besides the tactile switch for the emitter, and
Right.
leave the blaster, the light up blaster thing intact. But ultimately, I think it could work. I do think it could work.
Hmm.
I think it's a unique hilt. You know, it's really one of the great ones, and I love those episodes too.
And,
So,
look, and even though Ultra Sabers has a reputation of being very oversized on some of its hilts, from what I've seen, Ezra's first hilt by them is actually not that bad. It's like the height of it is around like 9.5 inches.
I actually the only design that I like from them as far as hilt wise is the Kane and Jarrus hilt that they have, and especially
It's still chunky.
I the,
It's still chunky.
it is, but again, like I said, because I have big hands, I mean, it'll be comfortable in my hand. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of which, I actually did get a new hilt in last week. I got the Saberforge Exile.
all right,
oh, nice, dude.
very nice, man.
Yeah,
Looks
it's
good.
Yeah.
it looks good, and the sound ventilation is actually pretty cool because
Did you go through the company itself, or did you go to the Etsy
I bought
part
it
of
off
it?
of I bought it. It's the eco version, and I got it off of the company. Why?
Okay, no, because I think they're doing a little better than what they used to do. Because when people used to buy from them, it would take a long time to get their hilts,
Well,
and
I
people who had bought their hilts from the Etsy part got their hilts a lot faster. So that's just what I'm saying.
Huh,
Well,
that's
I
interesting.
I got this because on Saberforge because I actually had a few Visa gift cards lying around, so I decided to use those to get gift cards, and I got it down to be using got down to paying only $82.
Yeah, but that's great, dude. But like I said, some people they waited like almost months just for
Yeah,
something
in the
that wasn't even fully installed.
in the last few years, Saberforge has been uh, I think I've said this before on the show, but they've been updating their sabers to where it will take drop-in cores, and the only saber that I've only bought two sabers that were originally based by them that were from the original design. I actually bought the Adamant, which is based off of Shock T's clan hilt,
Hmm.
and I
Hmm.
bought a katana a few years ago, but I sold that one off for another thing. And ultimately, they had it right initially, but just the electronics and not being it just cost a lot. But I think with the new drop-in cores, it definitely looks a lot better.
Hmm. Yeah, eventually when I get better at my installing and stuff like that, when I start selling my hilts, I will sell so that I can actually purchase character hilts, for my collection. And there's only so many character hilts that I do want to get,
Yeah,
and
clan.
that'll be the end of the character hilts,
Yeah, I
because
want to get
I
the
appreciate. Mhm.
uh,
I appreciate the artistic ability of others who see within the universe and are not exactly canon, but their artistic interpretation of things. Again, kind of like the Bad Axe, right? Um, and oh god, man, I really wish I had saved up enough money for a Bad Axe because that would have been so bad, so cool in the collection. Anyhow, um, my brain is going 100 miles an hour with all of this stuff. In again, you do have artistic abilities in collections of character hilts, but there's something to be said about people whose artistic ability to make a hilt within universe, within, that's not necessarily character driven, but elements of the character itself within the universe, right? And again, the Star Killer is, I believe the Star Killer is one of those hilts that is artistically a part of, the Graflex, but a cutout version of it. And so in seeing those, and then the scraplexes that are coming out from Jeremy Tierfon, Tim, and everybody who has made a scrapflex, um, you get the sense and sensibility of, okay, you go to a crash site, somebody had crashed on the planet, you got to tear that ship apart. You got to take those pieces that are laying around and make something out of there
I think
because
Corn
without,
Orchid in I Jedi.
yeah, okay, the cornhorn too, right? The speeder builds,
Yep.
right? So those kind of hilts like that, artistically built, because you're using items of the ships or bikes or speeders and stuff like that within the universe, says something about the artistic ability of those who are coming out with those type of hilts. And for those kind of hilts, I say, if the comfortability works, if the price point works, and the blade fits a certain parameter within the hilt itself to make the aesthetics look very well, to very good. It balances the weight of the whole hilt itself as well. You have a winner on your hands regardless, right? I mean, would you guys agree with that statement? Disagree? Or what are your thoughts on those? I hear
Are you
silence.
are you asking the
I,
crowd? You're asking us?
I'm asking anybody. I'm asking anybody, but I'm hearing crickets chirping right now.
Yeah. Sorry,
I'm just
basically,
trying to absorb all of the information so we can make a clear response. That's a lot of information you just blasted at me, man. I don't know. I should have spiked my iced tea before now. Now I gotta think.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I
So
tell you,
I'm just kidding, man.
So basically, I'm actually in the process of with Crewster of exchanging some of my hilts for newer ones, better ones. So that's, I was silent for a bit there, but I'm exchanging a bunch of hilts. I'm exchanging my Nexus Vader for an 89 hilt version. I'm really excited about it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of clan hilts from the the prequels, one thing I do like is how in the flashback to the Mandalorian we were able to get a new version of the clan hilt. We got the Youngling Slayer. We got the Slayer of Clones, the version of that Keller and Beck Ahmed Best uses, and the Youngling Protector, the hilt that he picks up later.
Mm-hmm.
And this design, it's really simple. It's very unique to what Keller and Beck uses, but it also still retains the design of a clan hilt. Nice,
Okay.
simple, and just easy to use.
Yeah, it doesn't
Right.
have a lot of pokey stuff on it.
Let's go into Kylo Ren's hilt. Okay.
Oh, the
One.
cross guard.
No,
The
just
cross guard.
guard? Oh.
Okay.
I asked Roger Christian what his opinion of the cross guard was. He said that he wished that they had the budget to do something like that back in episode 4, because that he said it was the basis off the broadsword. Like, he said it was beautiful, and he was very much supportive of it.
hmm
And honestly, I agree. I personally think it's a little unwieldy. It's a little bit big. Although, to be fair, my first cross guard was one from Ultra Sabers and chunky thick.
Yeah.
But I really do think that I really do like. I think the cross guard is definitely a very interesting design, and I very much want that to be a thing.
Okay. I don't know if you guys would agree with me on this or not, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here. With when when Ben was growing up, okay, and he was learning to be a Jedi, all of the stories that he has heard from about Vader and so forth, and learning about the Force from Luke and becoming a Jedi from Luke,
You mean
and seeing
Ben Solo?
that
Oh, that's
Luke,
right.
right, seeing that Luke had his hand chopped off and is a robotic hand, just as his father had. Maybe he thought in he took that into consideration and said, "Well, damn, I don't want my hand to get cut off in a duel. So what if these things were sticking out and they could protect my hand from getting chopped off?"
Well, actually,
Right?
interesting was the originally when he bled his kyber crystal, and this was in the comics. I think the reason why he did the cross guard wasn't because of that idea. I think that was what it was. I think that was the initial thought when people first saw it in The Force Awakens in the trailer. But I think the real reason was because when Ben Solo bled the kyber crystal in his lightsaber, I feel it was the crystal was too powerful that the blade couldn't really come out.
It was cracked.
Yeah, and so basically what he did was he added those side emitters to basically allow extra ventilation of the energy.
That's it.
Which, when you think about it,
Yeah.
is actually it's a very scientific way of looking at it. Although I wouldn't really necessarily agree.
But I think
I would kind of agree with that statement, though.
It's
I do.
possible that the Quillian emitter section was made out of a different material, because some of the stuff when you saw that he actually hits in between that cross guard a couple of times, that I've noticed.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the actual the vents won't protect you like a regular lightsaber. Those are just venting. So the main blade and the metal, I believe that the cross guard was made of, protect him the most.
Right.
His style too, of course, he was ruthless. So
Yeah,
Right. But if you go into the storyline, right? And you see that he grew up with Luke, and Luke telling him all of these stories about his grandfather and him, of how sadistic his grandfather was, and all the evil things that his grandfather did, but at the same time what Darth Vader did to his hand, in finding out only to find out that that was actually his father in that particular fight. So why would Kylo Ren not kind of think outside the box and say, "Damn, if I got into a fight with my uncle, kid, I get away with not losing my hand"? Well, in designing his saber, he's going to say, "Now Uncle can't cut my hand off because I have protection for my hand. He's going to have to break these cool youngs before he even cuts my hand off."
Well, what's interesting is that, as a member of the Saber Legion, I got to watch a few fights back at Saber Strong at the beginning of this month, and let me tell you, crossguard blades are very much helpful when going in to basically stab in and dip in over like that. And let me tell you this, I saw Bobby Zavala, the champion Saber Legion fight, and it's crazy.
The speed that they have. Oh my God. I was watching some of those fights online and it is just like seconds, dude. I'm all like, that's it? Like, that's it?
Yeah, that's all it does, man. It's not flow sabering. It's more like tactile, gonna get you as fast as I can.
I'm like, yeah, I'm all like, damn. Like, not even boxing is that short. Now, boxing, I mean, come on. They go at it. You still have 30 seconds or more, right? But damn, oh shit. Like you're looking at 5 seconds and that person's out.
Yeah.
Like just depending
big difference in the movies, huh?
Yeah, just depending on the technique that they have is unbelievable. And okay. Now here's an interesting point I think as well. Here's an interesting point, and I could be wrong. Again, this is just my personal thinking. My personal thought process is the technique that you're going to use within the saber fighting system, right? Whether it be Makashi or something else, doesn't matter. The type of hilt that you have may determine your loss or victory in your fight. If you are not proficient, if you are not proficient in your fighting skills and your lightsaber design may interfere with how you fight, could be the definitive moment of you losing your life, losing your hand, or otherwise, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like I said with the Inquisitor hilts. They work to an extent. Like, for example, I would never use I would only use the double bladed of the Inquisitor hilt. Like if I bought like the Nexus version of it, I would only use it just for show. But if I'm going to fight with it, I'm going to fight with it like a fencing saber. I'm going to come down hard. I'm going just like how the Inquisitor was introduced in Rebels. When the Grand Inquisitor was introduced in Rebels, how he fought before he turned on the double blades, it's basically similar to a gentleman's sword.
To that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. It's quick moves. It's vital. You know, it's like you have to be unexpected. You know, that's how what it's all about.
And also,
the lore of the. Well, I mean, if you're watching a saber fight like Ben and Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and let's say it's like say the last fight they had, well, the Obi series. You know what I'm saying? I think that is more. They're going off of their style, so they don't really deviate too much from their styles unless they create something new on their own, which you saw a lot of. But you do remember when Anakin was fighting Obi in that scene when they turned them back and forth, and then you see it again with Vader. See, it's all repetitive knowledge of the styles that they used. So but when you're in real life, that it's anything goes to get that saber in your gut, or in the back of the head or something. So
I think it's also worth noting that there is a bit of a difference between the final fight scene between Obi-Wan and Vader in the final episode of Kenobi and A New Hope, because considering when it was being shot in 1976, David Prowse had no skill with fencing. Alec
of course not.
had experience.
All he was a bodybuilder.
And yet the fact that these two were able to pull off something like that and the crowd go nuts over it, that says a lot. And basically, they upped the ante by bringing in. I forget his name. Who's the name of that Olympic fencing instructor who doubled as Darth Vader for the fight scenes?
I don't remember now. You'll probably remember it for me.
Okay, let me see. Vader fencer. It was Bob Anderson. Anderson. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yep. English language fencer and stunt double.
Mm,
And stunt double for Darth Vader. He was also
Nice.
in movies such as Highlander, The Three Musketeers, Barry Lyndon,
Oh yes.
Mask of Zorro, Lord of the Rings, James Bond, and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, the Highlander was great, man.
There can only
Well, I
be
couldn't like if you were
There can only be
if you're in a
one.
match. Can you imagine doing like you'd only have to be able to follow a basic skill, like a basic style. I mean, that's like I mean, I'm assuming that's what's happening when you go into the tournaments is you're following like a fencing style or a certain style. But most of the time when I watch these on TV, I could be wrong about this, but I'm not seeing much of any normal style. I'm seeing more of a fencing style, more of like poke you and kind of grab you, unless you're doing the staff and stuff like that, which I'm seeing less of. But single sabering, it's more like I'm not seeing a lot of frontal, like really really good swordsman stuff before the actual kill. I'm just seeing try and go for the kill quick. So I think that's a really big difference,
Right.
And I think
Guys, keep it going. I'll be right back.
my point is that my only point is I'm not saying that there's many differences, but my point is that I'm taking the movie side, like the character about, hey, I can only do this, but should I improvise and maybe try and do something? Remember when Anakin took Dooku's hands, something like that.
Yeah.
But was also taught by it was also, I think that was his own little trick, but somehow Obi knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know whether he taught that to him. That was never specified. But
I don't know. But either way, I mean, I think when it comes to the canon explanation of why they do all the flashes and fluoros, I think it's sort of forced sight projection of the near future. Like you don't know where it's actually going to go, but that's why
you have a good sense of it.
Yeah, that's why there's all that flourishing and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I would say in some cases, such as that's what I like. I think with Ahsoka in that series, it's not as flourishy and whatnot.
No, it's very elegant. She has an elegant style.
For example, between Rosario Dawson and Ray Stevenson, may he rest in peace, it's European swordsman versus Ronin samurai.
Yeah.
And it's two different completely styles. It's brawn versus grace.
Great, right.
And that is one of the things. And and in the case of Morgan Elsbeth and Ahsoka, it's grace versus grace.
Yes.
I actually spoke with Diana Lee Santo about that. And with the Blade of Talzin, it was actually based off of a Thai broadsword, which I thought it was actually a Chinese broadsword, a Dao. But it was I was off by a few miles north of Thailand. So, but she said it was mostly based off of a combination of it was a amalgamous mix of Asian martial arts with the Thai broadsword.
That's crazy. That's so amazing, man.
Well,
yeah, it's like.
Well, I mean, and that's what I think what's nice is because it adheres to George Lucas's original vision and inspiration from the Akira Kurosawa films.
Yeah, KB Productions says, I always teach my students that flow and combat are completely different skill sets. Absolutely, of course, because it's the flow. Flow is different from the combat. Flow is kind of prepares you. I don't know. For me, if I'm doing my flows and stuff like that, which I just do my regular styles that I like to do. But I like to do them, but it also prepares you for what's going to come at you, because
James, you have.
And I agree with Barris's statement earlier.
You've got to watch a match of Saber Legion. Like, come and watch us in post, and it is.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy. I mean,
so hopefully I could get out of the house one of these days to do it, man. I'd love to join it myself, but absolutely. I think I've watched a lot of different videos out there. I don't think they posted enough, actually, but maybe there's other sources that we can find and share.
Yeah.
I think they should do more videotaping of these tournaments now, because I'm seeing a lot of personal videos, but I'm not seeing the actual tournament hiring a professional system and getting it going and camera shots and all that stuff. I think that spruces up the, spruces it up a bit, and really makes people interested more. Give
Oh,
it up.
it does. Absolutely, absolutely. And and I don't know how many people here in the chat and who are going to be watching this. If you guys have not had a chance, and if you guys know who Adrian Paul is, he is the Highlander from the 1990s show, right?
Oh
he
wow.
has he has uh he has a thing called the sword experience, and I was fortunate enough to do two experiences, and eventually I'm going to do another one, right? But what he does is he teaches you, you do some exercise to limber up through the first half of it, and then you learn choreography from a show that they're going to do or they make up, right? And so, like, one of the shows that we did was the fight scene. I think it was the Laredo fight scene where we did that scene between Dog in Game of Thrones and the lady Knight, right?
Oh yeah.
So we did that fight scene there, and it was such an awesome experience. So if anybody in here has not had the pleasure of going and doing a sword experience with Adrian Paul, I highly recommend going and doing it and do the top tier part of it, because what he, like I said, you'll do the exercise, then you'll do the choreography, you'll learn the choreography, and then you'll do the skit. And in doing the skit, he films everything. And if you got to do everything over, you got to do everything over and do it again. And then he puts it on Facebook and YouTube. So check those out. If you guys haven't checked them out, they are amazing, guys. I mean, they are amazing. And so for martial artists and stuff like that, he has martial artists around the world that helps him with those classes and stuff like that. So if you have not done one, keep an eye out where the sword experience is going to be. I think there's a retreat coming up shortly in a couple of months. I think they're going to be in Scotland right now. And he does retreats in all kinds of different places where you can go, you work out, you do all kinds of things, and he puts it, like I said, on video.
Mm.
And it's just amazing to be with the Highlander himself and learn some stuff, right?
That's cool stuff.
Um, yeah, dude. And I would love to have seen something like, well, he actually does a lot of experiences with lightsabers too. From what I'm understanding from one of my friends, she has done 68, almost 70 experiences now, and
Nice.
he'll go and he'll do some of these experiences,
Hmm.
the Star Wars experiences with lightsabers and stuff. So
Right.
it's pretty awesome to see that.
It is. I think
So.
it should be more events like that stuff. I think it's pretty cool. Even if you got some flow representation and things like that. I mean, I see a lot of personal
Mhm.
videos. I do them myself too. In fact, I want to do more of them because I've got places to go. Back here and do some really cool little takes. Well, I'm like I said, I was going to do that for my new font that's going to come out soon.
Wow.
So I'm going to actually represent that live. I'm going to do that because I have the wireless system.
Oh.
Yeah, I have the wireless system in the Hilt, so I'm going to actually show it off live. I'll do a live video of it, and then
Hmm.
it'll represent it pretty cool. I'm hoping to do it pretty soon, because the weather's great right now. So
Yeah. Oh, Reese wanted me to tell everybody, and I almost forgot.
the video,
But yeah, not only that, but we may be doing some giveaways pretty soon, man.
cool.
Uh, so again, we'll talk about the kind of things that Anthony Space Windu wants to give away, and I will try to come up with some questions, and I will have one of you guys just kind of monitor the answers and let me know who is the first one to answer, and we'll do those kind of giveaways, right? So maybe a blade, maybe some blade stock, maybe just different things that Anthony wants to do and kind of dwindle down in the shop and different things. And uh, so keep that in mind, guys. That in the future we will be doing some giveaways, and I will come up with some questions, some easy and some difficult, and I'm gonna have to do some homework myself for the difficult ones.
Right? I know I watched
Yeah,
the last one, man. The questions were pretty cool, man. Some of them were a little tough, but I watched it last time. It was very good. I love
yeah.
I love that
And
show.
I
Great.
and I think what I may do is go through some of my books
Yeah,
and
right. Good
I'll
idea.
go through some of my books and I'm going to make sure that everybody has them or they have access to a way to answer those questions, right? Because I want to make sure that everybody has a fair chance to win and everything else. So um, even if you have to Google it, but if you take too long to Google it, you may not get, win. So that's just one of the things that Reese wanted me to let y'all know
It's great, man.
that we could be doing some giveaways here on the show on Sundays. Um, so I will get with Anthony and Reese, and we can discuss when they want to do the giveaways, and then we can announce it on the show when the next show will be for the giveaways, right? And I think maybe 2 or 3 giveaways, I think may be sufficient, depending on how many giveaways they want to do. So again, I'll reiterate, the giveaways and talk about those when they decide they want to go forward with those giveaways. Also, going back to designs and comfortability, do you guys think that the uniqueness of some of these hilts give up some of the comfortability or enhance some of the comfortability
Either way,
depending on the
I'd say
design?
both ways.
Mm.
Both ways, because
Hmm.
you never really know. Like I said, it's like how
I
much
mean,
stuff do you have in between the clamp and here to actually do some regular spins? How
I mean,
much do you have?
and plus,
So
keep in mind with certain characters, it's
that
all
too.
it all depends on what the hilt is designed for. Like, I mean, here, take example Shin Hati's hilt. This was
Hmm.
designed
Oh
specifically
yeah,
to be wielded by a female force user. This
Hmm.
it's supposed to be handled with someone whose hands aren't supposed to be that big. I mean, I'm not sure what Yvonne Strinkos. I cannot pronounce her name. I'm not sure what her hand size is, but it's supposed to be small. It's supposed to not be. It's supposed to
right,
be moving. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. It's supposed to be balanced. Like,
right.
okay, let's see if I can. Okay, no, like, okay,
Oh, trying to do the finger.
JC,
yep.
Oh,
JC, do
balance.
you
Yeah.
like lightsabers? If you were into sabers, man, this is why it got into your algorithm.
What can I say?
Welcome to the show.
It's all about timing.
Oh yeah, sure. And also styles too. Like those guys pretty much used a lot of the styles that were present. From the Jedi field, because he was a Jedi, so he trained her.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
could see it. In some of the moves that he made. It was a lot of classic, you know, classic moves. Which was great,
Yeah.
and some not so classic. So it's really hard to say, but wielding something that's like the Depa is like a breeze. You could wield that all day long, do all kinds of sort of
Yeah.
tricks.
Right.
But you grab a scrap flex or the regular Graflex. I mean, you've got all that stuff in between, and I don't know. I don't have a problem swinging around the obi because it's right up on the neck. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
you just get that feel of whipping it right where the neck is. So,
Yeah.
but it all depends on style and preference, really. I mean,
Exactly.
It really does. It really does depend on style and preference. And dudes, man, I think we're gonna have a second show on this stuff.
we have such great Jones here, man. They go so long and forget
Well,
the
I
time,
mean,
right?
I know, right?
well, I mean, next week is 4th of July weekend.
Oh,
so
there you go.
definitely a continuation of the conversation for sure.
That'd be
Definitely.
fun.
JC, I just want to let you know, man, if you're into lightsabers and you're into Star Wars, you're in the right place. And welcome to the show, man. I know I've never seen you here before, but I want to welcome you because we're always welcoming new people. And I'd love to have you again here if you'd love to come and talk about lightsabers, come to talk about Star Wars. I mean, it's just a place where you can sit down, have a drink with us, and have fun talking about this stuff, dude. So again, sabers up to you. I salute you coming into the show and a drink, man. and
Woohoo!
uh, let's
Gotta
see
be
here.
careful, baby.
I'm gonna put my Pentastar on here and see if it's gonna go. I don't know if both of my batteries are charged or not. Haven't had a chance to. So we shall see
Ah,
how that goes. So the hilt that I am using with the Pentastar is my Warlock hilt,
oh
and
yeah.
it is all pieces from TCSS, the Custom Saber Shop.
Oh yeah. Sure. Sure.
So,
Those are great.
ooh, yeah.
Very nice.
Oh yeah.
And it is just unbelievable. And Reese, thank you so much for gifting me this blade, man. I can't thank him enough for gifting me this beautiful blade.
Super bright.
I
It's
mean,
nice, man.
and it is right. It is just washing me out, man.
I don't even think I have a battery in this thing.
Let me see.
I remember what I have in this. Oh no, it's just a small little chassis.
Sound menu.
Let's see here. I gotta find a good
Mercenary.
I am King Jarrus.
proper hit.
We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers. Be wary. Sensitive servants of the force.
Now Vindari is a good font if nobody has it, but
Script time.
there's a good one. But
Ghost Rider!
I want to.
You spun your last web, Spider-Man.
There's a great font,
You're too late,
but
Spider-Man. Weed has been legalized.
right,
I'd actually pay Willem Dafoe to say that.
right. Oh, listen to that.
Is that my goblin font?
Yes, sir. It sure is.
That's crazy, man. I love that font. Thank God I brought it back, man. Everybody was wondering about it. I was like, oh.
Listen to that. The blasters. It's cool.
They're badass, man. Yeah. A lot of fun.
Color profile.
Let's see here. Oh
Nice.
my God, that just woo! My
know.
God, I need glasses, sunglasses.
It's a good, great blade.
Look at that. Space Windu, his protege Reese, man, does an excellent job on his stuff, man. Anthony trained him well, I tell you. He did. He did. Right? So let's see here. I need to find another font here that I want to address.
Sound menu.
And I need a nuclear reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts.
The gigawatt!
I know it's a favorite one, man. Wait till you get this new one. Wait till you get the new one with the sword, man. Just the katana sword sounds itself is gonna be great.
Ooh, I tell you, man.
I'm waiting. I'm probably gonna try and record it in the next. I don't know. I got a couple of days to go. Maybe after 4th of July or before it. I don't know yet, but it's gonna be pretty.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's a good sound font, and it's nice too because it's good for flow and it's good for regular, regular sword battling. It's like if you don't want the standard lightsaber sound, it's got some really cool stuff in it. So.
Yeah.
Right. So I tell you, man, if you guys want a TriStar, Quad Star, Pentastar, have Reese make it, man. He can make it just like I said. I can't reiterate enough that Anthony really trained him well, and he knows his blades now. So I tell you, when I get time, I will probably have him make me another blade. I think I want to get a TriStar, or maybe even attempt a TriStar myself. But definitely get some blades from Reese because he works hard. He knows what he's doing, and you won't be sorry for the quality that he puts into his blades, man. Now, with that, again, we're gonna go to one last final character hill for tonight. Remember, we're gonna have part two. We're gonna have to have part two because, man, there is so much more to talk about on these hilts, right? Character hilts and personal hilts. So I'm gonna be doing some homework, and we're gonna go through some more character hilts and personal hilts um, on the next show. And I don't know if I'm gonna do it this Sunday or in a couple of shows, but I will let everybody know when we're going to do part two of this show. And well, I tell you what, guys, when do you guys want to see have part two? Everybody in the comments and you guys, when would you want to have part two?
Whenever is feasible, man.
I mean, I got no issue with it. I mean, even if we do it like on another Sunday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Guys in the comments, you guys ready for part two coming up? I know I am. We had this was such an amazing show, man. Um, we had a big audience tonight, and I
Uh,
am honored. I
well,
am honored to
I
have you guys.
may or may not have put call out posts on all the major Facebook pages to let people know we were doing that.
That's great.
Yeah, I think when we're ready to do it, I'll let you guys know so that way we can
Yeah, give us a
actually.
little heads up so we can post it out. And we'd love to do
Yeah.
that giveaway, man. I want to join in on that podcast. That
That'd
cast
be a
is
lot of fun.
that would be a fun like we did last time, man. We had such
Yeah,
great
for
talks and
sure.
conversations, and that was a
Ooh,
blast.
you know what we should do is you need to we next week for the show we need to all put on a national anthem sound fonts.
Ah,
If I can get one, yeah.
I actually know where you can get one for free.
Oh yeah. As long as it's legal way to get it, man.
Yes, it's free.
And
It's posted.
okay, cool. And we'll make sure that we give credit to the font maker for it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
I have a 4th of July font that I did, but it's a real simple one. I think I did a blade style and a couple of sounds, and that thing is loud, super loud.
Well, even a simple one is good, man.
The hum is
Who
just
did I see?
the national anthem, and then once it's over, you just turn it off.
Oh, I think I have a whole bunch of fireworks going off and popping sounds, and
That's the one I saw. That's the one I saw. I like that one. I like instead of the national anthem, bro. I really like the fireworks just going off, and
did
then
the
the full
CFX version
blade.
and all
That
shit.
full blade just lights up, man. Yeah, for sure.
I did
But
the
you
graphic.
got the song. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun too. Oh man, it's endless, man. You can have so much fun with this stuff. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
All right,
And
I'm gonna
that's the
firing
thing.
my
It's just,
bartender. Firing my bartender. Look at him, man. He's just still stuck in the same position. I don't know what happened to him.
man. I'm gonna have to tell Anthony to get you the bartender from Albatross Junction, which is
Yeah, I'm gonna
me.
I'm going to another bar next Sunday. That's it. I'm gonna stream from another bar. This guy is out of his mind. I don't know what happened. The screen. He looks like he's got blue milk over there. I don't know. It looks like blue
You
milk.
should have had buckets of blue milk, dude.
I know, right?
Buckets of spiked blue
Spiked
milk.
blue milk. That's what we need, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some Java
Oh
ale.
my god. Speaking of Jawas, man, I need to get Leon on here, dude. I need to get Leon from Jawa's Junkyard on here. You know, he agreed one time, and things just happened where he couldn't, and he wants to come on. He wants to come on, and I really am lucky, and I'm honored that people such as him and you guys are on here with me, because without you guys, without the audience here, and everybody who comes and hangs out with us, Saber Talk would not be possible. And also, kudos to the original trio, which is Anthony, Gabe, and Harris. So, uh, you know, I am just I'm in awe with you guys, like I said, hanging out and having fun with this, because that's what it's all about. Coming to Saber Talk, having a drink. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's water or alcohol, it don't matter. Come sit down at the table or your coffee table, and come and hang out with us. Have a lot of fun. Some people don't get that chance with other family members or significant others. I'm providing that. Come and have fun with us, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Hey,
You see what
yeah.
happens here, man. We're a bunch of crazy community members, man, giving our opinions and our lifestyles, and I love it, man. It's amazing.
It's
This is
amazing, man.
Sunday fun day for me, man. This is great.
There it is. Sunday Fun Day Saber Talk.
Yep. I enjoyed this afternoon, man. I got to see everybody at the shop, over there at Civilized Sabers, and I got to do my own thing today, and it was good. And then I got to come here, so it was a very jam-packed weekend for me. So it was awesome.
Yeah. KB, herbal libations,
There you
all
go.
good, bro.
Yeah.
All good. Herbal teas, I don't care,
The
man. It is
non-spiked
a
iced tea.
libation. It doesn't matter what you're drinking. Like I said, from water to alcohol, doesn't matter what you're drinking. Have a seat at the
Yeah.
table and let's have some fun. That's what
Yeah,
it's all
let's do it,
about.
man. More the merrier, man. I love talking about meeting everybody new, and it's important, just see what everybody's thinking out there. We don't get to see or talk too much,
Yeah,
Uh,
and eventually Mo said he'll come on the show too,
yeah,
eventually. So that'll be awesome, man.
yeah.
And
Let's do it.
Mo lives only a couple of hours away from me, where he's at.
Nice.
So it'll be good to see him and eventually get to go where he lives and have a drink with him, and vice versa when he comes to Corpus and comes sees this way. Yeah, JC, come back anytime, dude. Man, I
Yeah. Tell
mean,
your friends.
anybody, tell your friends, dude. Everybody is welcome to come and hang out with us. Talk Sabers, talk Star Wars. We're here to have a good time, dude, and escape life, escape, what's going on bad out there. So again, tell your buddies, tell everybody you want, have a seat, come to the table, and let's have some fun, dude.
Absolutely,
It's
man.
all good.
That's what we
All
do.
good. That's what we do. All right, guys. So let me see if I can. Let me see. All right. So with that, guys, thank you guys so much. Oh, I almost forgot, and
Oh,
I should slap myself for this, but Charlie, we didn't see Charlie in here, but Charlie's kind of
oh,
busy,
all
right?
right.
He's got things to do. He's probably working out right now, or he's probably at a con with Superman people, man.
All
So
right.
I tell you, so Smallville and all kinds of people, man. So Tom, Charlie, have a good one.
Hey,
Have a great time with all the Smallville characters that you go and hang out with. I know he's going to be watching this later on, and so much love to Charlie, because normally he's always on here as well. and listening in the background while he does his martial arts workouts. So, okay, so for that, I'm gonna brand out, guys. Love you. Wait till next Sunday, hopefully,
Yeah.
and time to go. Peace out,
Right.
Mundo.